It's Logan here, and yes, you're reading this right. GTA 4 got me into Final Fantasy. I know, it sounds strange, especially the correlation between...
Yeah,
I'm here to see Mr. Pegorino.
well, I didn't think you were here to sell me insurance. So, you here to work for him, shoot him, or arrest him? Or maybe all three.
It's okay, Mrs. B. I'll deal with this.
Yeah, I'm in a life-threatening situation and I'm having a conversation here. He could have killed me. You're useless. Organized crime, my ass. With guys like you, no wonder this organization is doing so wonderfully.
And... But it is true. I would like to share this experience. Yes, I know, my first Final Fantasy was 7, so I know people have a strong opinion about that particular title, especially when it was the most popular, but I can promise you, I didn't pick it for popular reasons. Without further ado, get comfortable, and I'll walk you through it.
Fuck my friend, will you? Huh? Well, who's laughing now, bitch? Huh? Not you, you fucking dead whore!
Hey, buddy. Whoa, calm down.
Hey, fuck you!
Okay, so, when I was 14 or 15, Jesus, my memories, God. Convincing my dad to finally let me play this game was like being 8 and convincing your parents to pull up to a McDonald's drive-thru. You'd hear a lot of no's until that one yes comes through. And at long last, serotonin. So, being able to finally play GTA 4 after playing other GTAs, you can imagine my excitement as I sat there waiting for the game to install. Thank you, PS3. I've wanted to play this game for a long time as I've watched countless videos on the game when I was like 8. The best part was just the multiplayer videos, the glitches, the full compilations, especially because the physics were so cool and so different from the previous GTAs I've played. I didn't even know what the story was. Well, obviously, because when it came to playing any GTA as a kid, all you wanted to do was cheat codes. And especially the flying car cheat. Shout out to San Andreas. Anyway, game install done and my excitement was through the roof. Like, I finally got to play what felt like an upgrade from the GTAs I've been used to now the one GTA I've been waiting for a long time for. But there was a catch. I could only play multiplayer at the time. Yeah, remember the convincing part? Well, the only way I could do it was to say, hey dad, I only play multiplayer, not the story. Which is funny, because my dad didn't play much of the story and didn't even get past the plot twist, but okay. Honestly though, worth it. So I kept my word and played the multiplayer after going through the opening, and holy shit. This is the most chaotic shit I've ever seen, even when GTA Online was out at the time. And oh my god, I love it. The airport, modding, all of it, man. I will say, whilst I did get to play GTA Online previously before this, I've actually had more enjoyment playing GTA 4 Online than replaying Survival for the 50th time and trying to get a heist team. No, seriously, matchmaking was dog shit. Eventually, after I've had my insane amount of fun for a few months, and making people rage quit on deathmatch, no, seriously, was pretty good at the time. It probably was considered as a sweat itself at the time. It was time to stop abusing cheat codes, blowing up cash vans, throwing myself out of the helicopter. 6 stars, it was actually time to get into the story.
War is where the young and stupid are tricked by the old and bitter into killing each other. I was very young and very angry. Maybe that is no excuse. Roman? Roman! Are you sleeping, you fat fuck? Come on!
So here I am, finally playing the story of GTA 4. And oh boy, I was in for an absolute ride. There's just so many of where to start. The harsh environment, gunplay, cop chases, music, story, dialogue.
I've worked hard for this line of work. Now some Russian assholes think they can march in and take control of rackets my family has run for 50 years!
You mean 50 years of you bleeding the city dry might finally come to an end?
I know it's a terrible tragedy. But if it wasn't me, it would just be someone else. So it might as well be me.
Yes.
This is what Next Gen truly felt like at the time. Things felt like an absolute upgrade. You may not agree, as many people during the time of launch didn't agree with the game's take on the new hardware, specifically the driving and the pacing of the story, and to some extent I agree with some of the takes, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, first part of the story is pretty slow, I won't lie. Yeah, I actually kind of agree with the guys at launch and sometimes today. And that's okay. I think most GTAs tend to start off slow before we get into the action that you mainly see on trailers first. But the point of that is to build character upon the protagonist, side characters, and the city. And Liberty City is one giant character itself. While yes, it's a parody of New York City, it really sinks you into what a shithole of a city. From the strangers you meet, to the society around you, advertisements on the radio.
You can make it run on expensive champagne and fine cigars. Save the planet for only $39,999 on Karen Dilettanti. Bad plus good. Making use
DJs, all of it. Rockstar did a fantastic job telling you that it's literally the worst city in America, like what you'd normally see on newspapers in the game, or at least on GTA 3 as well. With all of these combined, it gave the whole city a depressing tone. No matter the city lights and its beautiful views, those two things couldn't compensate for the amount of negativity that surrounded you. In a way, I was beginning to relate towards this game, but it was also an eye-opener of what the city life could be like. And I say could be because that obviously isn't happening on the regular. No, in all seriousness, I say could be because these moments that you experience in this game happen once in a blue moon. It doesn't mean they happen all the time, but it also doesn't mean it never happens ever. It was definitely a way for me to at least get street smart if I'm ever going out. And oddly enough, the game teaches you that. You're probably wondering how I've never picked up on these things when playing the previous GTA games, but to be honest, I was busy spamming cheat codes. I mean, hell, the helicopter was cool itself, just flying around like the entire city. Even then, when I played through a few missions on like previous GTA games as a kid, I didn't really care what was going on. Literally the one thing I do is put disc in console, harass my sister for the PC so I could look up the cheat codes, and there you go. That was it. Anyway, back on the main track. Through the interactions between the protagonist and whoever is standing in front of him, I picked up on quite a few things. Mainly the sarcasm Nico does, of course, but at appropriate times, not all the time.
I really like her.
But you keep messing around with other women.
Yeah. No.
I've been sarcastic for quite some time. Yes, I learned at the age of 15, yet I was told that it was learned at the age of 11, so I guess I went to the wrong school, shove off. Usually, I was sarcastic at the wrong time and the wrong place. But considering I found the humor in the game to be
Something strong. Oh man, I am cold. Enjoying your new life in the land of opportunity, Dan? This is no time for jokes, buddy.
it helped me learn when to have a joke around and when to be serious depending on circumstances. Because I was always wanting to joke around without a care in the world, but that's not how to be.
People are trying to kill us. What is fun?
Honey, you are stressed.
The dialogue is probably my main favorite component of this game, next to the story itself. I never got to do bowling or dating as much as I should have, because I was always carrying on with the story. When you're driving from point A to point B, I've always found the interactions between one another very interesting and enjoyable to listen to. and it's no wonder I always wait for them to finish their conversation before driving towards the marker. It was definitely a habit, I could tell you that. I just don't want to miss out on what could be important later on in the story. Most of the time, you're actually learning more about Nico and some of his side characters along the way too. Some of which you can identify who to trust in the long run, and who to be suspicious about later on. With most of the points I've made about the storytelling and interactions with one another, this is when I realized how insanely important a story is. Because yes, I was still running in blind, shooting whoever, before this game sunk into my brain. Killzone, Call of Duty, GTA, Just Cause, all of it. At the time, all I wanted to do is play a game, but now, story is very important to me, even lore to a certain extent too. I'm looking at you, Destiny. This realization also hits deeper when Nico finally got what he wanted after doing so many favors for so many people, just to finally reach that one goal that he waited for 10 years.
When I was in the army, we were going on a mission to ambush a squad that killed a lot of innocent people. They were our enemies, but we never did it. There were 15 of us, all boys from the village. But one of us betrayed the group. It was a setup. For money. 12 people died, 3 escaped. I know the traitor was not me. So for 10 years, I've been searching for the other 2. One of them lives here.
Why are you telling me this now? Do you always get sentimental after you kill people?
You kept asking.
Wonderful. You're here on some revenge mission for something that happened 10 years ago, and you don't care whose life you ruin anyway.
No.
Well, what?
I don't know. I just want to know why they did it. Reci mi zašto?
Zašto?
Zato što smo bili prijatelji. Svi smo odrasli zajedno. Mitar, Dragan, Goran, Mio. Mogu da nastavim? Sviju, a?
We were friends, but I had other friends! Friends that Goran and his guys killed. My fucking neighbors! Because of what? Because of shit! Lies! Fucking lies!
So that makes it okay to stab your friends in the back?
When everything you believe is shown to be shit, you make strange choices.
Fuck you! Strange choices? How much?
1,000.
You killed my friends for $1,000.
How much do you charge to kill someone?
You ruined me, you fuck!
I needed the money. I had problems.
You're a fucking junkie!
Kill me, Dan! You fucking hypocrite. Trust me. You'll be doing me a favor. Ah!
Nico, come on. Let's go. Let him suffer. He knows what he did. He doesn't look like he enjoys life too much.
You did the right thing, Nico. It is not often that a man can be sure of them. You definitely did the right thing. Be proud of yourself.
Let's have a fucking party. Break out the champagne and let the diseased, traitorous junkie live after hunting him for over a decade. Shit! Someone hand me the keys to the fucking city.
There's no need to take that tone, cousin.
I'm sorry if my tone offends you, Roman. But this has been a very difficult moment for me. It took every fiber of my being pulling in the same direction. Not to kill Darko, to not get revenge for all those lives he took away.
What made you spare him?
I don't know. I wanted it for so long, he would just be dead.
Like everyone else from our village, I was the one that survived the first attack. Living is not easy. No. I would live to kill Darko as well. But then when I looked at him, I realized that nothing would change if I killed him. Revenge would not somehow shut the book on what I have seen. Only those who die get closure. Living do not. So you keep living, and you try to have a happy life. You try to move on.
I try to. Yes.
I've always heard people say, why is the driving realistic? I hate it. Why do I have to pull the brakes early? This isn't real life. And whilst yes, it takes quite a while to get used to, okay, maybe more than a while, I love it. The driving in that game, I'm even putting it above Gran Turismo, but that's how much I love it. I know it's not everyone's favorite, and that is absolutely fine. But it is my favorite, and no opinion can sway my decision. I know I'm going to be sidetracked from the main topic at hand, but something I really want to talk about is that you can still like something despite its flaws, or not many people agreeing with you. This is what's called an opinion and free thinking, and there isn't a lot of that nowadays. In fact, there tends to be more echo chambers on the internet rather than having your very own opinion. And to be honest, I think having your own opinion sparks up conversations. They can be interesting whether you agree with the person or not. But lately, or at least for the past few years, it's only an opinion when you agree with it and don't elaborate on anything else. I'm looking at you, Twitter. And I've always hated that, because no one will have the balls to be so different, which in fairness, you'll have pitchforks and torches surrounding you if you dare to do so. But even then, who cares? And listen, just because I've said that does not mean, oh okay, yeah, you can say something derogatory, yeah man, it's fine. No, I'm not a dumbass, no. What I'm saying is that if you have an opinion that's different from a group or like community, fandom, just say it. You never know what kind of conversation you might get into. It could be one that's very inspiring, or even just, oh yeah man, that was really great, like thank you so much. Or it could be one that you might regret and really don't want to do again. But hey, that's what I mean. You never know. For example, my favorite Burnout game of all time is Burnout Revenge, but there are a lot of Burnout fans that place Burnout 3 as their favorite of all time. And I've never agreed with it, but I've always read why that choice. And I can see where they're coming from. They made the game too easy, the pacing's way too fast, etc, etc, etc. That's absolutely fine. I just love Burnout Revenge because of its pure arcade racing experience, and the traffic checking system is absolutely iconic for me. It'll never get old. You know how many comments I receive on my TikTok about this system is better, no this one is better, and vice versa? Too many, when really, I'm just here to celebrate video games. Celebrate an era, generation of video games as well. Whether we have lived it or have just discovered it, and absolutely love the theme or aesthetic of a certain era, such as me and my love for PS1 games, but also PS2 games. PS1 wise, I hardly lived it, and I remember breaking the console when I was like 1 or 2. But the graphics and the pre-rendered backgrounds absolutely attract me. Anyway, driving. What can I say?
When all of America looks the same, fine, you can...
Fuck you! Fuck you!
This is the only time where I love the realism aspect of it, which is very rare for me considering the amount of realism that I feel has ruined some genres, specifically racing and shooters. For me personally, being chased by a 4-star wanted level is more intense with the realistic driving and the ability to shoot around your car, rather than holding L2 or R2 to shoot from the side like old GTA games. Finally having the freedom to shoot around your car and drop grenades like it's hot potato. Which leads me to this point. It's not even about why you're making it realistic. You can still do so, especially when there's a huge audience for it, but don't neglect the arcade fans that are still waiting for an unrealistic game and just pure fun. And the music. Oh man, so many iconic artists. Freddie Jackson, Jodeci, War, Nas, Mobb Deep, Black Sabbath, The Who, Queen, Busta Rhymes, Bob Marley, and there's an insane amount to list from. But my personal favorite radio stations are Liberty Rock Radio, The Vibe, Tough Gone, and The Beat. The music selection too really adds to the Liberty City feeling too. Once you hear the lyrics, it feels like stories told from that city. Even though most of the music that was created always had stories to tell from their personal life experiences, and that's it. The synergy with the lyrics and the city feeling creates such a perfect combo. You really begin to feel like you're experiencing the city life. So, what are the main aspects of GTA 4 that really stood out to me? Main story.
We won, man! We won!
Environmental storytelling. The characters.
What are you doing here?
Well, I'm a lifestyle coach, and I teach an aerobics class, and I'm in love. He's married. It's so doomed. And he's in politics. He's the deputy mayor.
Bryce Dawkins? But he's so into family values!
Oh, that's just politics.
Where is Darko?
Dead, I hope!
Music.
I'm gonna saw off your fucking arm. Speak!
Okay. Your dad likes it up the ass. What do you want me to say, huh?
And driving.
Is there a name for that fitness plan? I'd take a class if I could be guaranteed buns like yours.
It's called getting chased by the cops and being errand boy for the mob.
If you'll notice my favorite aspects of this game, you'll also see why I got myself to try Final Fantasy for the very first time. With that being said, I started with 7. Now you're probably thinking, out of all the Final Fantasy games, why did it have to be this one? It's probably because you went with the most popular choice. And you'll be happy to know, you're dead wrong. I actually picked this game because of my sister. Final Fantasy VII was probably her personal favorite Final Fantasy game at the time. I'm pretty sure now it's between Final Fantasy XIV and Final Fantasy X. But my sister absolutely loved Final Fantasy VII. From the PS1 game to Crisis Core to the movie, which I actually watched with her before when I was about 9 years old. She had the movie and we watched it together, and although I knew nothing, I couldn't even fathom what was going on. Cloud looked cool, and that was always in my head. Oh, and Tifa. I also remember her showing me the PS1 game, but to be honest, I never understood why it was enjoyable in the first place. Mainly because I was obsessed with racing games and shooters. Fast forward to 2018, or 19, god my memory's fucking awful. I finally got myself to try Final Fantasy VII. I wanted to play something different than the genres I've gotten used to over the years. It was time for something fresh. And oh boy, it was absolutely fresh. In fact, so fresh, it pissed me off every time my old computer blue screened. It was the type to blue screen the moment you blink at it. Without immediately jumping into, I gave up halfway because of this shite PC, let's just jump into how much this game surprised me. If you were to ask my kid self about this game, I'd say how much I hate having to wait my turn to fight my enemy because I'm so used to shooting first and then asking questions later. But if you were to ask me now, holy shit I love turn-based. I've gotten to the point where I love to think my approach before executing it. And this game really got me into strategy, which made boss battles so intense for me. Along with the fact that I don't know how much health they have until I get material that contains the focus skill. But regardless, suspense, and praying that they die before me. I soon found out why this game was the most anticipated during the PS1 era, And then a year after Final Fantasy VII is fucking Metal Gear Solid. We used to cook back then, man, come on! I found out on certain demo discs that they had the Final Fantasy VII trailer where they basically spoiled the plot. Yeah. Thanks, Square. And oh my god, look. The color, environment, God bless those pre-rendered backgrounds, seriously. The music, the characters, the dialogue, and the gameplay was so fresh for me, and everything felt so new as I got to expand my horizons on different games. No longer was I in a scripted explosion event that happens on every Call of Duty. No longer was I in an action-packed sequence every second you can spend. No longer was I constantly asking for heals in a hero basis and intense basis. I was now in pure fantasy, with some freedom of what you want to do at your own pace, having the time to both fight and relax the environment around you, and even interact with the people around you as well. This was goddamn incredible, and I couldn't be happier. Honestly, throughout this journey of uncovering this game, I kept going to my sister's room like, seriously, screw that snow map. I mean, Cloud snowboarding is metal as fuck though, let's get that clear. In a generation that I was really bored with, I was seriously wondering how a game from the late 90s has so many different experiences in one single package. It blew my mind, and it still does today. One moment you're fighting a boss, next moment you're in the Gold Saucer having an absolute blast with a virtual funfair. The next moment you're trying to get the annoying as fuck Yuffie to join your damn party! The next moment you're sat there in deep sadness as you see a character you absolutely adore just die in front of you. And she was pretty important for Cloud, not just for the sake of saving the planet with the ancients, but also the fact that he opened himself up a bit, which later on helped with Tifa. And then the next moment you're back in the Gold Saucer trying out the Moogle minigame with a story that made no fucking sense to me at all, but you stayed because Moogles. They're cute as fuck. And then Wutai. Gonna go off topic for a bit here, but Wutai is probably my favorite location of all time, next to Costa del Sol. Probably the most beautiful pre-rendered background I've ever seen, next to one of the best composed songs in the game. Honestly, maybe it was worth Yuffie being a pain in my ass by stealing all of my materia. Thank you, Yuffie, for leading me to such a beautiful place. But I still wonder why I brought you into my party. Actually, no, I take that back, because Wutai ended up being one of my favorite side quests in the game. You find out its origins in the town, such as how it was before Shinra came in and fucked it all up. Speaking of Shinra, seeing the Turks basically have a vacation in a town they liberated is odd if you find out the context of this town, but before finding out, I was so glad to not fight these guys and we can all relax. For now. And speaking of the Turks, I don't know why, but they remind me so much of Team Rocket from the Pokemon anime. I suppose in this sense, Reno is James, Rude is Jesse, and Elena is Meowth. But hey, what about Sang? Ah, fuck, I actually forgot about him. Okay, wait. Sang is James, Rude is Jesse, Reno is Meowth, and Elena is literally just a grunt for Team Rocket. There. Solved it. Also, whilst we're on the subject of the Turks, I know they work for like a piece of shit company, but I don't think they're that bad. Let me word it right. I don't think they're villains. Yeah, okay, they're like the antagonists of the game, or like the entirety of like Final Fantasy VII. But I suppose if you were to like play Crisis Core, which I never did, or like watch the movie, which I did, you then start to think like, you know what? They're kind of just doing their job. It's not like they want to, unlike the... Fuck, what were their names again? You know what, I'm just gonna pull one right on my ass. Unlike Scarlet. Yes, Scarlet's the only one I can think of because... Have you seen the remake? But no, I feel like they just have to do this just so that they can get paid. And then just make enough to like live. That's just my interpretation. But the Turks, funniest fucking guys ever. I actually, those are my favorite antagonists in terms of like humor. Right, going back to the topic of moments. The world map. Honestly, that moment was cool itself when you got yourself a vehicle. I know I say this so many times. For a game that came out in early 1997, this shit is mind-blowing. Big map, vehicles you can use, 3D world map. It is absolutely insane that they managed to fit this on a console such as the PS1. I mean, it makes sense with the 3 discs it comes with. Once you get access to the Highwind, oh my, yo, the freedom you unlock. You get the huge feeling of, oh my god, I can literally go anywhere. Pretty equivalent to passing your driving tests, finally. I mean, I say that, but considering I played the PS4 version after, because seriously, fuck my PC, it was over. I basically went at the bottom of the world map to basically farm my characters to level 99 at ×3 game speed, and oh my god, I'm rich as fuck! Who knew that going to the place of nature and killing insects and creatures would earn you a living? Wait a minute, I'm starting to sound like a corporation. But regardless of that, the feeling was still there, and the song made it 10 times better and really made you feel freedom. Thank you, Sid. Now please stop swearing at me. Okay, now to put the unseriousness and funny to one side. Cloud. We got to talk about him. I know I used to relate to characters such as Kate Six, Spike Spiegel, Nico, Otonashi. Shoutouts to Angel Beats, that shit really fucked me up. But Cloud. Oh man. I think it was during Disc 2 and Disc 3 where I realized how much I can relate to him on an emotional level. Quite frankly, it actually hurt playing through the game, and now I'm at a point where booting up Crisis Core on my PSP nearly made me cry because of the piano alone after the intro. No, seriously, how the hell can I straight face this beautiful piece? It's impossible. I actually quit the game right after. Yeah, I didn't even press new game, I was just like, nope, too much. I didn't even get down to like the deep part of it yet. Anyway, the more you learn about Cloud, the more you begin to obviously sympathize with him, but also resonate with him too. It was helpful to know that it was okay to struggle as a person. And GTA 4 definitely shows that too with Nico. Sometimes when you're with friends or your partner. But with Final Fantasy VII, it feels different. As you progress through the story, it was like Cloud slowly but surely admitted his true feelings and how much he's trying as a person. And you get to see that in the livestream moment. But what made it better was Tifa seeing through Cloud because of it. Whatever Cloud also says, the livestream picks up what he's actually saying in his head, and Tifa can hear both of that. From that point onwards, Tifa finally saw through Cloud and understood everything about him, his actions and his behavior. Even then, Tifa was always offering a shoulder for Cloud to lean onto, but always refused because he wanted to be the protector and not to be protected. This moment, right there, shows you that it is okay to be open with someone you're close with. You're not always going to be strong, and that's absolutely fine. Give yourself a break. And the moment I got to see that was when everything changed for me. I stopped bottling a lot of thoughts inside and decided to be open about how I'm feeling, what's going on, and also what has been bothering me for a long time. However, I opened myself up slowly, mainly because I was always scared of the end result or even the outcome I'll face. But 9 times out of 10, it was worth doing so. And it was such an uplift from not only letting it out, but receiving the support from your close ones too. It gave me so much energy to carry on and keep going, but with a better mindset. Honestly, I understand Cloud. He kept it all because he didn't want to be a burden towards anyone else, Tifa especially. And given that the people around you have their own set of problems as well. But at the same time, Cloud has a lot to carry. And from that point onwards, it gets to a point where it's getting heavier and heavier. And you'll start to slip and have the feeling of, I can't do this any longer, I need help, but I don't want to admit it. Hence why his stoic/nonchalant acts that he's carried throughout Disc 1 until meeting Aerith and witnessing her death. You kind of pick up on that with his childhood memories about wanting to join Soldier First Class to become strong and be a hero. Mainly for Tifa as well, but wanted to be a hero nonetheless. I fucking love Cloud so much. Out of all the characters I got to relate to, Cloud was the one that really grabbed my heart. Seeing how he was from Disc 1 to Disc 2 and 3 was like watching an evolution of a character happen right in front of your eyes. And truthfully, it felt like I realized my evolution of how I was years ago till now. And side note, it's a big improvement, I can tell you that. Seeing Cloud have emotions this time and being open to discuss was so heartwarming, and to see those around him that are still supportive and will stick with him till the very end was fucking awesome. It makes these little moments like Costa del Sol, Gold Saucer, and the time at the bridge after escaping Shinra such wonderful memories to carry forever, which also shows you to just live in the moment. Appreciate the time that we got with either on our own or one another. We don't always have much time either, so you really gotta carry on living. Which, in a way, GTA 4 shows you that also, but in a consequential manner, depending on the one last choice you make near the end of the game. You either make a deal with someone that has been messing with you and your close ones throughout the entire game, or finally take down the bastard that has been messing with you the entire game. Spoiler, one of your close ones die. There is simply no happy ending, and you, along with the character, has to live with that. Kind of like the other game too. Yes, there isn't always happy endings in life, and I get that. But there also isn't always a depressing or sad ending either. You get a mix of both. Like I said back in my Karushi video, stories that have hope in critical situations or depressing scenarios are something I absolutely love and have resonated with the most lately. Because it always shows me when you're in a tough spot or at a low point in your life that you can always come out of it when you don't give up. Back when I was streaming this game, and even playing it off stream, I was at a low point in my life. I won't get into it too much, but I was not motivated for anything. And more importantly, everything everywhere all at once was going wrong in a week. So at that point, Cloud was relatable as fuck. Final Fantasy VII gave me the full emotion health kit that I needed to get myself back on my feet. And I think moments of Cloud and Tifa really helped me with that. The writing on that scene where Cloud and Tifa have one last moment together before coming back into the Highwind was like the screen had a hand reach through, grab my heart, didn't elaborate, and let the scene do the talking. At that point, I didn't even know what to say. Aside from me doing that god-awful voice acting during that stream, which I've lost.
Let me actually talk to these guys. I've had it! Me too. You know, this is the first time we've ever agreed on something. Yeah. Well then, shall we? Yeah.
What could I say? Not only was I in deep thought, but then the realization hit about me as a person. It was a be yourself. If that person doesn't vibe with you, don't change for them, because someone is bound to like you for who you are. The energy you bring, even at your lowest, someone will be there till the very end. Kind of lesson. This doesn't just go for who you're in love with or who you admire. This goes for anybody that you let in your circle. Friends, family, colleagues, literally anybody. If they're willing to put up with you, no matter who you decide to be today and tomorrow, those type of people are important, and not how big your circle of people are. And if you're struggling too, but you have someone willing to put up with you and help you all the way, it's fine. Rest. Allow that person to help you heal. We can all see that you're trying your best. You begin to pick up this lesson throughout the entire game, but the Highwind scene absolutely confirms that now you've learned, now go out there and do your own thing. Be yourself, make a circle of people you're really close with and love you dearly, and do what you think is right. So, yeah, I think Final Fantasy VII should be glazed. Yeah, I said it. I also think other Final Fantasy games are amazing in their own right, but Final Fantasy VII really hit me the most. And I'm very glad this was my first Final Fantasy game I decided to play and beat for the first time too. If I could recommend what someone should play as their first JRPG, absolutely I'm going to say Final Fantasy VII. If you can't handle the low poly graphics, then you're lost. You'll miss out on my favorite story of all time. Yes, even above GTA 4. I actually can't believe I'm saying that, holy shit. GTA 4 is absolutely amazing, and I'm glad that game got me to realize there are incredible stories out there that I can play. But truthfully, I was playing the game to be sucked into its depressive tone. I was already low enough during 2015, so a depressing game equals comfort, rather than giving me hope that things will be better. It was like a coping mechanism in a way. But then seeing Final Fantasy VII, with a bright story, along with these bright and vibrant colours, washed away the darkness surrounding me, and gave me an abundant amount of hope, and it's an experience I will never forget. Thank you so much, Final Fantasy, for the amazing experience you've given me, and an experience I'll never forget. Thank you guys so much for watching. By the way, I am still working on that Killzone video, but this whole video was something I thought about just randomly about 2 months ago, but it's still a big project of mine that I'd love to give the most care to. Anyway, see you next time.